Okay, let's talk about Evan Carter. Now, Corey, you brought this up.
Oh, I did?
And we talked about it on Thursday because Jacob was putting together his Rangers parlay for the season. And Alec, help me if I'm remembering this incorrectly, but I feel like the one we were all the most negative about was the run scored of Evan Carter. I feel like we all were like, no.
Yeah, because it's banking on him playing a good amount of games.
Yes, exactly. So,
what was the over-under? Do you remember the number?
yes, I believe
85.
it was 70.5.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I definitely not. And so, like, for example, in the last 2 seasons combined, he scored 54 runs.
Okay.
So that's why I would love to be wrong. But what I want to know is Rangers fans out there, Metroplex sports fans, where are you at in your hope of and belief in Evan Carter? Oh, let's start with you.
Okay, and the run scored, some of it's on him, some
For
of it's
sure.
on the teammates.
Absolutely.
And
that is a very real issue.
this team struggled a lot. I wonder how many times, man, I got to find that number. How many times was he left on base last year? Because that would be helpful in that conversation as well. But I'll have to go look for that somewhere. I bet Jared Sandler knows, but he's busy right now, Kevin.
They got a baby.
Got a new baby. Congratulations to the Sandlers. My hope for him is that he becomes a legitimate leadoff hitter. And now what that situation is then he's lefty. You got Wyatt hitting second as a righty, and then you have your lefty in Corey Seager at 3, and you're feeling pretty good with your first 3 batters. That's my hope for him. My belief that it can happen, I need to see it. Now, I understand why he's hitting 9-hole. You can protect him there. You can do a lot of different things there. He's not in your everyday lineup anyway because he doesn't hit left-handed pitchers very well. So you go protect him by putting him there. You don't want to put him as your leadoff hitter if he can't hit lefties, and now you're facing lefties and you're leading off. So you
Absolutely.
say, a guy that I can rotate out, that can platoon, I will go ahead and move things around so that he's at 9, and I can move those guys in and out however I want to. But I want him to be a 305 hitter. I want him to draw more walks than he has strikeouts, which I think he can do. I want him to lead this team in runs. And then I want him to play a damn fine outfield where he can cover all the ground because that's what he's good at. But health's going to be the biggest factor for him. And the back injury the last 2 seasons has been quite the concern. So
if it is just that.
Yeah, no, there could be a lot of other things in there. But somebody was like, I hope Evan's body matures and he's able to stay healthy. He's kind of skinny.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's also one of those guys, I believe he lost weight during that World Series run because his body wasn't used to that, and he's got to figure out how to eat. And there are some people out there, Kevin, that just cannot put weight on. Good, congratulations, but I know what their fear is. But yeah, these things are A, health. That's my hope.
Right.
And then B, turn into a legitimate leadoff hitter. And what that means is he can also hit left-handed pitching.
So I want to go back just a couple of years because Evan Carter's 23. He doesn't turn 24 until the end of August.
Wow.
But it feels like he's been here forever, right? Because he was a key component in down the stretch for the Rangers and then obviously in the postseason. So I just wanted to...
Also, take into consideration, that whole season, we were just waiting on him to arrive.
Because he was on fire in the minors.
In the minor leagues, he was just tearing it up, and we're like, he's on his way. We're too good of a team to need him. But he's on his way, and then he arrived at just the right time where they needed him the most, and he delivered. So, that's the expectation for him from there on.
Absolutely. So, let's take a look at that. All right. I reconstructed his 2023 season based on what it would have looked like if he played about a full season.
Okay.
And I linked in a full season at 138 games. I realize how many games there actually are, but I'm just going to go with that for the approximation of this. He played so well down the stretch in his first appearance ever in Major League Baseball. He would have been on pace for the season to have 30 home runs, 72 RBIs, hit .306 with an on-base percentage of .413. And then you look at what he did in the playoffs. So that's another 17 games right there. What happened? Well, he averaged just a touch above a hit per game. He hit 300. His on-base percentage was .417. So he was getting on base like a freaking machine. And that's where you couldn't help but catch the fever. Like, that was one of the great things coming out of 2023 is not only did you win the World Series, which was obviously the best part, is you're like, holy cow, Adolis is a postseason god. It looks like Josh Young is ready to rock for a long time. It looks like Evan Carter is ready to rock and roll for a long time. Corey Seager is freaking untouchable when it comes to clutch hitting. And it's just like you stacked up all of these things. And where are you at? 4 years later, we have lots of questions about Josh Young being able to be a useful player for an entire season. We have even more questions about Evan Carter. Adolis Garcia is not even here anymore. And I think we all still believe Corey Seager's awesome, but we're all going into the season with even more trepidation than usual, being like, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And that's all 4 of them.
Yeah. No, we have so many question marks on the team. And we need one thing that makes us feel like it's going to be good. Kevin, yesterday I showed you a video of a very young yet experienced Wyatt Langford, and bless you.
Turn the button.
Hitting a home run. Yeah, but we call that out on this show with you. It's just a thing we've done for a long time.
That's right.
Thank you, Alec. Do you remember the home run that we saw yesterday?
Yes, I do. And he smashed the F out of that.
I think he's in midseason form already. And I don't think he's ever turning back. I think Wyatt Langford is going to make you feel fine. I don't know if I like the way I said that, but I think he's going to be the kind of catalyst for all these other pieces falling back in place.
Okay, and
that's what I'm putting. I'm hinging this on him. Sorry for the pressure, kid.
And I hope you're right, because if Wyatt Langford steps up his game, as you just described, and everybody else doesn't come along, what's it really going to mean?
It means he gets traded for prospects.
I hope that is not the case whatsoever.
We're going to make this team better, and he's our valuable asset.
Okay,
so.
well, there is no scenario in which I want that to happen.
Oh, okay.
But it does feel like your team is going to kind of stall out. So to go all the way back to the very first question, I hate saying this. I hope I am wrong. My hope and belief in Evan Carter right now is low. Not because of who he is as a person or his baseball ability. It's just, so we talked about it. He played 23 games his first season because you needed him out there. Then he played 45. And last year, he played a season-high 63 games.
We got a lot of dudes that only can play in the postseason. Like, if you only have the postseason stretch, they're going to be just fine and awesome for you. But it's a matter of getting there. And you got to do that's the thing. That's why baseball is the hardest sport on the planet. They've always said that because it's a long season, and then you just got to be able to get to the playoffs, and there's not a lot of spots to play.
What is your hope and belief level in Evan Carter going into the season?
Hope level high, belief level 20%. Is that a number?
Sure,
20%.
Yes, 20% is a number.
20% is what I'm feeling right there. Hope level 95%. Because there's 5% for asteroids, like that could always happen.
Okay. All right. I like the idea that throughout the season you'll be like, 95%, because you never know about that asteroid.
You never know what's going to happen.
Be coming in. All right, Alec, just real quick for you, hope and belief level in Evan Carter.
Hope level is extremely high because I've seen what he's capable of, especially defensively. I would say in reality, expectation is definitely lower than that. But I do think you're going to get more than you expect.
Okay, that would be great.